Free socks. Free socks.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of the Triple B Experience Thursday night edition. I was trying to look some stuff up, and I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to ad lib when I get to that topic. But first and foremost, before we get started, I got special field correspondent Shane Stodmiller coming in tonight to talk a little bit about some stuff we watched on TV. I just finished watching it, and I had to watch other stuff just to be, so I get the stuff so I don't lose the Easter eggs. But I still lost the Easter eggs. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we start the show, here is special field correspondent Shane Stodmiller. Hi, Shane.
Bubba, I see we have some folks in the chat. It's good to see everyone.
Yeah, I seen that. I was looking for some pictures, and I couldn't find them in time, or I couldn't get them. So, and then I'm watching. You know how you watch TV? Okay, when you watch a TV show. Okay, now when you watch other people that do YouTube channels dissect the episodes.
Yeah.
Do you watch those kind of people?
I do, and I used to be really bad about watching like Star Wars Theory, and Nerd Theory, and then Den of Nerds, which is just basically the guys kind of. Nerd Theory was two guys together, and the same two guys, just three different shows, and all they did is complain about Star Wars and Marvel, and I got caught down that drain. But I really think that we have a winner with Daredevil. I think that's
that's what I watched it after Steeler Dynasty podcast. Okay. So I was like, oh, I gotta watch this because Devil come on last night on the Steelers show, and he's like, hey Bob, you doing a show Thursday? I'm like, yeah.
I know.
So yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch it. And I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff in my own personal life, which I had my interview today, so by the grace of God, we shall see. But I liked the old Daredevil Netflix series.
I'll tell you what, there's not a bad show on the old Netflix series for
Well, I think rank them.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, rank the Netflix Marvel stuff.
I would say Daredevil and Punisher up there. Luke Cage is really close, it's in third.
Okay.
I could interchange Daredevil or Punisher depending on the episode. The key thing to that series, those two being so good, is the Kingpin character and the fact that they have such a great actor.
Well, he is good. I believe he's the best villain in the MCU.
I agree, hands down.
I did like Loki back in the day, but Loki's not a villain anymore.
Yeah, Loki's not like I didn't really care for Loki. Loki was all right, but it was not
really.
I don't like that whole time bullshit,
Oh, okay.
But no, okay. So we got number one Daredevil, number two Punisher. They can be, and then Luke Cage.
Okay.
Jessica Jones, Iron Fist.
That's the same friggin' order that I was gonna have. I thought Iron Fist was the worst of the Netflix series. I like the concept of the Defenders,
but it's like having bad cotton candy or bad peanut M&Ms. It's terrible, but it's still good.
Have you ever had bad cotton candy?
No.
How do you get bad cotton candy? No, I never
had. Netflix, Bubba. What I'm saying is there's no bad Netflix show.
Well, Gene, I think we all agree Iron Fist. I think
it was the worst of the bunch. Yeah, but it was still fun. You know what I mean?
he could have been so much better. But they might bring his character back, but I don't know if it might be the same actor. I've heard they might bring in Jessica Jones. That Christian Ritter is very good. She was very good in Breaking Bad. And I did like that show. The Jessica Jones series. I didn't have the comic books, but I did like the series. And Luke Cage, that was good.
Now, what I liked about Luke Cage, I'll go on my, it's not political, but it was a strong man of color, but it wasn't shoved down your throat like, hey, you know, it wasn't in your face. It was like, this is just a badass guy, you know, that happens to live where he lives, does what he does, but it wasn't like forced. It wasn't political. It was just a good show. Just like Jessica Jones was a good female character without it being the feminism pushed down your throat. You know what I mean? They were just good characters.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, which was
She-Hulk was bad.
Was on Disney, was hot garbage.
Yeah, that was bad. And then the Miss Marvel stuff, I liked certain stuff, but it wasn't for me. I did like Hawkeye. Now,
I love Hawkeye.
Now this Daredevil new series, like Echo, it intertwines everything now. So I had to watch that guy who with this. You ever watch the guy with the little white dog? Mm-hmm. And he's at the like a Blockbuster video thing or some goddamn thing, and you know, I watch him, and then I watch like what was it, Emergency Awesomeness or something. So I watch those two in case I miss something. I mean, I usually don't miss anything, but it's like I like to see stuff and catch all the back stuff. But I didn't this, and you're like, Bubba, you need to watch this. And you're like, you're gonna be like, holy shit, Bubba.
Well, I messaged you when I was like, the previews didn't even start. It was like only 10 minutes in. I'm shitting myself. I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah, well, the previews, and then, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys in the chat already watched this, but they've never done that before. Like, I never thought they would kill, because they brought those two characters back, Foggy and Karen. They shot some reshoots, okay, and I thought, oh, they'll just make them more into the season.
And they did press junkets where they're talking like, I'm so happy to be back. And you're like, oh, we're going to see this guy the whole time.
That's how they get you.
You haven't seen it. Spoiler alert.
That's how they get you. Yeah, Iron Fist was bad. And I don't know if they brought in the same writers. I don't know.
I think it seems to hit harder. I mean, it's edgier.
Well, it was edgy in the first 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh. It was really good.
Like I didn't see that happening. And then Bullseye comes out of nowhere in the street, just fucking going right into that bar. But that bar in the comic books was where the villains hung out, not the cops. The cops hang out in the TV show, but in the comic book, it was villains. That was a villain hangout. See, that stuff like that. I can't remember everything in comic books, because I just have the new recent volume of Daredevil. I don't have Daredevil in my comics collection as much as people would think. I don't. I have the new
Punisher.
I have a lot of Punisher in my comics. I do like. I've always been a Punisher fan. I like the movies. I like John Bernthal as the Punisher. I think he's the best. Thomas Jane is good. Dolph Lundgren was, that was 80s stuff.
It was what it was.
Yeah, in the 80s they were just throwing movies out. But I see how they changed some of the storylines, but also too, the Kingpin. Now his wife is just as bad as he is. I think she's power hungry. And I think in just these 2 episodes, I think that he's pissed off that he's not doing crime.
I think he's going to have a breakdown. Something's going to break him to the point where he gives up in humanity. Like he wants to save New York. He's going to get to the point where, he has it. He just was running New York City just like he was with the mob boss.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that in the comic books, he actually won the mayorship of New York in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this Daredevil series, especially with Disney Plus. So you got Disney Plus Daredevil and then Netflix Daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
and I think both of them are just as violent.
So I want to ask you, and this is a segment here you probably need to do a snippet for.
I can do AI, and it's all good.
Yeah, tell us about White Tiger.
Okay, now to me, White Tiger. Well, that actor who played White Tiger passed away. I think he had cancer.
Wow.
Because in the second episode, it said in memory of, that was him. I don't know the actor, but the character has been around since 1975. I don't think they're going to tell a lot. They're not going to do a lot of backstories into that. And to go from now on, and it goes down in his family gets the amulet, but also too, like when I was a kid, when I was reading, he was in Spider-Man comics for me. He was more of a street hero.
Yeah.
And he had Iron Fist,
yeah.
and and stuff like that.
In Hollywood, it would be like a B or C actor. They were like a B or C tier superhero.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of them. I think now the version of Hector is female, and they probably have him in some kind of the White Tiger is some kind of somewhere in the Daredevil comic series, but I don't know which volume because I only have the latest volume, and honestly, I haven't read it yet because I got all my comics. I read them digitally now. I just put them in the stuff and put them in boxes, as as you can see, like right here. I mean, that's Batman. You know what I mean? But I don't know much about him, but the scene of the subway, I was like, holy shit. Well, that, and then I was like, holy shit, that's a fucking, NYPD. I was like, God damn. And that takes it a different storyline. And Charlie Cox is very good as Daredevil. I think he's
British.
Yeah, well, all those actors like Andrew Lincoln, Dwayne from Walking Dead, a lot of Maggie, a lot of Walking Dead actors are British.
Well, we get these British actors that can throw an American accent, and we can't get Mark to speak in complete sentences.
Well, if you go down and get a pizza and it's what is it? A layover? What is it? A layover?
I'm taking a Piz takeout. Takeaway Piz.
Takeaway.
I'm taking away a Piz.
Hey, I still can't get that concept of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just laugh. But there's a lot of. I mean, hopefully they bring him into the movies.
Season 2's coming end of next year for Daredevil.
Well, I think it's like I wish they would go
broken up.
I wish they would go a little longer instead of 40 minutes. And I want to get the people in the chat that are watching it. I mean, I think these shows could go an hour, but I think they do 40 some minutes because of no commercials. Mm-hmm. But I think they could get an hour of Disney Plus shows, Star Wars and Marvel.
Well, let's talk about Star Wars. Andor's coming out.
That's it, though. Yes, I saw the previews for that one, and that one is just that's it because it'll go right into Rogue One.
Right.
So and that'll be right after Daredevil. So what Disney Plus is doing is not having two shows at the same time. They are spacing it out, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if you watched I'm 50 some years old and I'm watching cartoons. The Spider-Man one, because after Spider-Man, it went right into Daredevil.
My son watched that and he said it was really good and he liked it, but I got it. I'm to the point where I have to kind of pick my poison. I watch that Alone Australia, where they're in Tasmania.
What the hell's that?
What they do. You ever saw any of the Alones?
No. What is that?
So in Alone, like Alaska, they give
Okay.
you $500,000. There's 10 people. They drop off in the middle of the bush.
Okay.
No crew. They videotape themselves.
Okay.
And
how do they do that with like battery operated power?
They have like a lot of batteries and a solar set, and it sets them up. And it's basically whoever can hang the longest. And people literally lose 30, 40 pounds. Some people have to be cut because their liver stops.
Oh, I can't do that.
So it's hardcore. Now, the Australian one, I know Australia's a hard place to live. But it's a lot. You don't have grizzly bears and wolves like you do in the Alaska one.
So that's your vice of what? That's one of your vices.
I watch it and I'm just like, and here's the thing: they pick simpletons. They pick people that are like, that guy's not gonna make it.
Yeah, like me.
Then they'll have 5 simpletons. Then they'll have like 4 or 5 people that are like hardcore. Oh yeah, I do all kinds of camping and shit.
I could eat a bug and just suck the juices right out.
Yeah, it's usually the person who's heavy set.
Yeah, it'd be me.
Can withstand starvation, wins out. And it's just like, but I still watch the damn thing.
There's so many TV shows. Like I was watching a preview on, well, I wasn't watching a preview. It was during Daredevil, which everybody should watch Daredevil. Daredevil is thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up. Like I truly like what they're doing. I like what MCU's doing now. They're not putting a lot of stuff out. Everything is more substance than style. Did you see that? Speaking, I mean, this is going off. Did you see that somebody from some actress has put alleged stuff to Ryan Reynolds in the movie Waiting, and yeah, she was talking about, this is getting a little spicy. She was talking about an actor who made her do stuff that she didn't want to do, and it was speculated that it was Ryan Reynolds.
I could kind of see that.
Now, I mean, if anybody listens to this podcast and it explodes, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, Shane and Bubba are talking about something that, but I saw that because sometimes I look at stuff, on TikTok, and sometimes you get your feed, and I just got it in. I was at the gym and I got this feed on this actress stating, see, Afton even, I can't, I don't know.
Now, there has to be some heat. There has to be some serious heat coming because he makes them a lot of money.
Well, do you think him and his wife, that kind of exploded back? His wife, like, I don't even know who the hell she is.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, okay. So all that shit blew back on her and they were putting it out like it was the director, but really it wasn't.
Yeah, I think they
not that I'm going to watch that movie.
Shit pot. I think they tried. They tried to reverse heat there and just cause more trouble, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. Uh-oh. Those two are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh man.
Oh, she tried to steal the movie. It was a movie about a abusive relationship, I believe.
Well, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, Bubba, have you ever watched Welcome to Wrexham?
No, what is that?
So basically, Ryan Reynolds and the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the shorter guy.
Wait, is it about a soccer thing?
They bought a soccer team. So it would be like buying the Altoona Curve. Okay. And over the past like 3 seasons, they've put money into this program, and what it's called is if you lose and you finish in the bottom, you get relegated to the next lower tier.
Oh, it's like Ted Lasso.
Just like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They have managed to move up 2 tiers in like 3.5 years. It's exciting.
I think Ryan Reynolds plays the same character every fucking movie.
Yeah, he has no acting skills.
Yeah, and the only acting skill he got is Deadpool. Like he's gonna be known as Deadpool. Like you don't even have to see his face; just put a fucking mask on him, and I'm okay with that. Like
I
know
enjoy.
What I mean?
I think he's funny, but I mean, I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He's no. Bill
I think
Murray.
he's probably.
He thinks he is.
You rather Bill Murray's actually funny.
Oh yeah, he went on Joe Rogan. Talk about like off the rails, like
that's his other movie. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Dan Wilder. That was I remember seeing.
But that was more Devil, like a cult classic. I've only seen it once in a long, long time. It was probably
I saw it in the theater a long time ago.
I could have been fucking Van Wilder back in the 1992s. You know what I mean? But it wasn't sunny in my college days.
I wouldn't have left college if it wasn't for September 11th. I would have still stayed in that town, being a creepy guy in the end of the bar.
Well, who said you were creepy?
So I'm self-aware. Once you hit a certain point, you're like
self-aware.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that that's his only, like, I don't know. I guess he's going to do a sequel with that rock movie they made on Netflix with the Wonder Woman girl. But I don't know if they're going to. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Daredevil.
Let's talk about Gal Gadot for a second.
Oh man, we're just going off. I'm going off.
Yeah, well,
okay.
It's feeding one into the other, and I'm
okay. Well, she's not Wonder Woman, so we're screwed.
Well, no, Snow White. Snow White comes out. Gal Gadot plays the Wicked Witch, right?
No.
Or the evil stepmother. I'm sorry, it's the evil stepmother.
Okay.
I'm getting mixed up with Wicked. I won't.
So you actually watched that?
Wicked? No.
Okay. I can't.
But Gal Gadot. So hear me out.
Okay.
The girl who's playing Snow White, she's not ugly.
Okay.
But the premise behind Snow White is the witch or whatever who looks in the mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all.
Correct.
And Snow White is supposed to be the fairest of them all.
Yes.
There's
Uh-oh.
My son said Gal Gadot's 3 times hotter. Where'd you come from?
From the peanut gallery. Yeah.
He has to get a tooth fixed, and he's been on the lamp.
I have a Wonder Woman magnet in my locker.
He has a magnet of Wonder Woman in his locker.
Hopefully you don't have an action figure, big, huge doll.
No, he does have a Melania Trump cardboard cut out in his room.
Oh, Afton said she saw Wicked on Broadway.
Evil Queen. That's what it is. Thanks, Afton.
Yeah. So, Afton, when you see the movie, you have to let us know which one was better, because I'm not going to a Broadway show.
I'm not going to watch it because the whole premise of the god darn movie is Snow White is supposed to be pretty.
Well, yeah.
And how it doesn't make any sense.
The premise of the movie is that the witch wants to steal Snow White's beauty.
I know, but Snow White, how can you steal her beauty if she's not pretty?
Yeah.
Right? How can you steal her beauty?
Yeah. Well, that's a good assumption. So you have to see through the eyes of the movie that you think she's pretty, but then realistically she's not. And then didn't like the actress like do some stupid like I wish
she did some self she just destroyed a lot of the, they had to wait to put the movie out because she was such a shithead.
What movie are we talking about? It's a movie I never even saw. What movie are you talking about?
White. It's coming out.
Oh, it's not even out yet.
No.
Oh, it's not out yet?
No.
See, I don't like the Disney, like if no offense, if Disney is gonna make a movie about the cartoons, the cartoon legacy, and like they did with The Lion King, which I didn't. She said a lot of stupid shit. See, I wish they would do I think the best cartoon. Okay, what is your number one Disney cartoon?
I would have to say I really like Aladdin. The original
So,
Aladdin.
Aladdin would be your number one.
There might be other ones. That's what pops in my mind.
Okay, your number one Walt Disney
I can
cartoon.
sing all the songs.
Okay. Afton said Pinocchio.
Pinocchio's good.
Okay. I have
Hercules. Yeah.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Okay. You know the one I love and I have somewhere in my is Robin Hood.
That's a good one.
I fucking love that one. That's the best. That cartoon. I mean I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I think it was at the drive-ins in Indiana. That's how long ago. And I do have. I think I have. I thought I had it on DVD.
I saw Jungle Book at the drive-in.
I saw Jungle Book at the drive-in too. That would have been my number 2.
Now I have one for you here. Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Aladdin's good.
That's my favorite, Aladdin.
Fox and the Hound.
Okay, this is coming out. I'm pulling it up. Let me make it bigger here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna share it.
From Daredevil to Walt Disney cartoons.
Well, this is going way off the rails here.
Yeah. So every show does. I mean, this is the thing about this show that people don't understand, unless they're the people that come into the community all the time that know how off the tracks we get.
Steamboat.
I'm not watching that.
Dreamboat.
Because they have all that stuff. I seen the Popeye thing.
100 years.
Well, I saw the Winnie the Pooh, and I was like, "What in the hell?"
That is Winnie the Pooh. I would have to do a little dope before I watched it.
Well, I need to smoke some dope, but
well, this here now. Here's the thing: after 100 years, I think that it becomes open. Like you can literally make a movie out of it. So. Oh, Pixar, Toy Story. Is that not a Disney movie though?
No, you know what? You know what's a good Pixar? My number 1 Pixar movie, A Bug's Life.
That's a good one. Up is good.
Up is good. Up's in my top. Up's pretty good. You know what? I watched Up before I was ever dating somebody in a serious relationship, and I was like, holy fuck. This is going to be my life, and I'm going to be fucking hanging out with a dog at, squirrel. That's what I thought back in the day. So
Reacher. Let's talk about Reacher.
I have no idea. I haven't seen any of it because I'm so far behind. You can talk about it.
The 3rd season starts out. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
Well, you can.
But you know how usually a 3rd season.
Oh yeah, Incredibles is ranked up there too.
Hold on 1 second.
Copyrights. Well, there's a lot of that. Afton is like I seen a list like all characters like Captain America gets released. It's to the public here in 2030 or something 33. I'm not even done with I haven't done season 2 yet. I'm so behind. I haven't done Cobra Kai. He must be getting some information off his kid. I haven't I'm glad that I got Daredevil up to par, and Invincible. I'll probably watch that later. I'm current with that. The Boys. I still haven't finished The Boys yet. I know I don't have enough time. I can't hear you.
I would prioritize The Boys. Put that up on top of your to-do list.
But I like to watch. Me and Tammy are watching stuff, but lately she hasn't been. She hasn't been watching stuff.
What do you watch with her?
Well, I watch everything with her except for The Walking Dead because she doesn't like any of the Dead series. But I mean, she missed the 2 episodes of Daredevil, and she came down and watched the Blockbuster guy. And she watched a series of Netflix, and she loved Luke Cage. And I said, well, maybe they're going to make, I think season 2, he'll probably be back. So we watched all that, but and she liked Reacher.
Yeah,
I think that guy is I know he's super big, but he has anxiety. I think, doesn't he? I think.
You hear him talk in person, not acting.
Okay.
Sounds like a completely different guy. And you can see that he's actually acting when he's Reacher, because Reacher comes across as like a cerebral, deliberate, critical thinker, and not very sensitive, where he comes across in real life as being real sensitive, real emoting, and personality. So
that's I got a gut. Season 1 was great, but it's just that I mean, they were already on season 3 already, so they must be putting that shit down like real quick, right? And I'm sorry, I went too fast. Is that his name?
I had a boss that reminded me of Reacher when I was in an MP battalion. I had my Law and Order detachment, and he was my boss. He was a great guy.
Well, he's supposed to be. People were looking for him to be like a Batman.
I would love him as Batman. After you don't like him as Batman?
No, I don't think it's Thad. I don't think his character name's Thad. Just sounds too like.
Let's talk about who should play Batman.
Boy, you're coming up with a lot of questions tonight. I don't know who. Who I have heard that dude from Supernatural.
That's who I heard.
Oh, Jack Reacher. Yeah, not Thad. Oh, what the hell am I thinking? Yeah, there was a fucking movie called Jack Reacher. What the? He played Thad. Oh, okay. That was the Blue Mountain State. That was that football thing.
I have to look up when that's coming. What's coming?
So, yeah, that's the guy I would say. Mm-hmm. But he'd be younger. Like if they did an older Batman, I would go Jeffrey Dean Morgan as an older Batman. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what they're doing. I mean, DCU is doing something, so I don't know. I mean, now speaking of DCU and shows coming out, and wait, he's 50?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he don't look 50. Wow. Not that I'm liking guys or nothing. I didn't know he was 50. Somebody said that to me today. They asked me how old I was at MANT training. And I said, I'm old. I can feel it. She's like, old? I said, yeah. I said, I'm 53. She's like, oh, you don't look it. I'm like, well, thanks. But and I started talking wrestling, and then her cousin is Horsepower. I'm like, oh my God, it's a small world. Oh, he was born in 78. Yeah, that'd be about right. That's what I was getting to. And DCU, the Peacemaker, and the Peacemaker of John Cena. And did you see what John Cena did the other day? He turned heel after 20 some years. Now, he was a rapper when he came out years and years ago, when he did his Ruthless Aggression and after Kurt Angle, because he came out and wrestled Kurt Angle. That was his first WWE match. Because, I mean, he was the prototype in OVW. I mean, he was a big, strapping young lad. But he turned on Cody Rhodes, and he's with The Rock.
I think I'd rather see Cody Rhodes as the heel.
That might come. And tomorrow night I'll probably talk more wrestling. I just wanted to talk, because it's you have Black Adam and Peacemaker tagging up in wrestling.
Now, Peacemaker 2 should be coming out, but I don't know when. I'm going to have to look.
It should be out probably this year sometime.
Thunderbolts is coming out.
Oh, that's going to be so... They made a cover of some magazine, and they're getting a lot of good press. And the Century, I'm telling you, is a bad mamma jammer.
Do you think Marvel and Star Wars is going to turn the corner since there's a little bit more of a cultural shift?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know who that is. Wes Chapman. Who's that? I don't know who that is. I mean, as long as it doesn't matter to me, it doesn't matter who is Batman as long as the storyline's good. Like even that dude from Twilight wasn't bad.
Patterson. Now, I'm pretty protective about the James Bond character.
Okay.
You know, they talked about Idris Elba. I think he would be a great Bond. You know, are you a Bond fan? You like James Bond?
I like, you know who I like? Sean Connery.
He's my favorite Bond.
Roger Moore. Well, you know who would have been the best one? Probably would have is in his, well, I did like, but when they got him, because he couldn't get out of his NBC contract with Remington Steele, was Pierce Brosnan. Pierce was fucking good. And he couldn't get out of that contract to play him earlier, and that he could have had maybe like 4 more Bond movies.
Daniel Craig kind of really took it over and really made it his own and became a physical, more of a physical Bond, you know?
Yeah, I played Amos on. Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know who that character was playing. Wes Chatham. I don't know who that is. And Craig's just too small, too tiny to be.
Yeah, Batman has to be 6 foot to 6'2" in my eyes.
And bring back that was
Bat nipples.
Well, which one was that? That was the George Clooney one.
Yeah, I think it was Clooney. Or was it Val Kilmer or Clooney? Clooney had the
Batman. I like Val Kilmer as Batman.
I do too.
I like Val Kilmer as an actor. I mean, I always watched the Tombstone. I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah.
Did you see the side eye that Michael Keaton gave those guys during that award ceremony when they were talking about him a while ago? He just kind of, you know, he had the ascot on and he looked like Batman.
Well, Michael Keaton. That's why I remember when Keaton, you know, got that role as Batman, everybody was like, "No way, fuck, no way, no way, no way, no way," and
he killed it,
and he destroyed it. That is that and you know, Beetlejuice is probably his greatest roles.
Beetlejuice is probably more iconic than that.
Well,
I have not seen Beetlejuice 2.
I saw it at work.
Okay.
Oh, that was Clooney. That was Clooney with the bat nipples. My bad. I did have a couple concussions.
Bats are mammals. They probably have nipples.
I think in that old DC before James Gunn took over, I think they were going to use more of Michael Keaton as Batman. And that Flash movie, it wasn't for him. That Flash movie it wouldn't even be worth watching.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, Mr. Mom. And Gun Ho was good too, because that was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That was what was that? Multiplicity or something?
Multiplicity.
Yeah.
Mr. Mom is where I can't remember the premise, but I remember I enjoyed it.
Captain Gene and the other guys. Yeah, Multiplicity. Yeah, because we went from that to that. But I don't know. Like, there's so much to watch, and there's not enough time to watch stuff. Like, I know as I've been watching is like, well, I mean, the main thing I've been watching, you know, Raw and I watched the pay-per-view, and like I said, I thought the Cena stuff was pretty good. You know, his last tour now, because he's going to retire this year. So him turning on Cody and Cody was good as a corporate heel back before he went into AEW. I don't know if you knew that. He was over in New Japan and stuff. And I mean that I don't know who that fucking rapper guy was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that fucking dude broke his eardrum. Oh, yeah. That motherfucker. I'd give him a goddamn receipt because you're not supposed to fucking smack somebody in wrestling, you know, in the ear. Fucking dumbass. So when Cody was down, when I don't know if you watched it, but you know, when The Rock went like that, you know, like, you know, because he has all the angles covered, and he come out with that rapper, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And Cena, you know, hugged him, and then he turned on him, you know, and then he took off his watch, which was his dad's watch, Dusty's watch, and put it in his thing, busted him open, and then that rapper smacked him in the ear and busted his eardrum.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but we'll talk about that more tomorrow. because that rapper is kind of, I don't think he's athletic, and that for him to do that. Travis Scott is the name of the rapper.
Oh, okay, yeah. Punk, and he's not going to get a receipt. And a receipt in the wrestling business is you're going to get fucking one back when you stiff somebody and you broke his eardrum. And then, Cody needs to knock him the fuck out. That's what he needs to do. But
I had a ruptured eardrum. I had both eardrums ruptured in Iraq from blast overpressure. Ooh. It was bad. It was like you couldn't hear shit. It was like being underwater for 3 weeks.
I had somebody clean my ear one time years ago. They cleaned, with the water, and she fucking, and I had to have a big tube in my ear. It was bad. Like I was like, whoa, and she just she almost blew out my eardrum, and I'm like, fuck, lady.
I'll tell you what, guys. This is I think we're in a good stretch for pop culture. Last year, right? COVID kind of dried things out a bit, and it's been hit or miss.
Well, with COVID, Shane, you could actually get caught up. That was the only good part. And then driving on the road, there was nobody there.
I still have not found anything that rivals the Tiger King.
I've never seen that.
Oh, Bubba.
I watched that thing a couple weeks ago. I think I said it on one of these shows recently. And I watched that documentary of that young couple, Gabby or whatever, and I tell you what, that broke my fucking heart. Like I was talking about that show for days, and Tammy's like, "Boy, you're really into this. That really got to you." And I was like, "Yeah." It was about the concept. It was a documentary it was a Netflix recent documentary that they were boyfriend, girlfriend, and they got engaged. And they were traveling across the United States.
Oh, they got killed.
No, he fucking beat her up, and they got pulled over by the police, and it was on camera. And he made it out like she was the perpetrator. He got to stay in a hotel. She stayed in the camper, and then he fucking, I don't know what he did. Oh my God. He fucking killed her.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, and then he called his fucking mom and dad and said, like, I need an attorney. So he fucking went back to Florida, and they've been looking for this girl, and the van is in the parking lot, in their driveway. And the dad and mom are like, nope, we're not saying nothing. Contact our attorney. Yeah. I mean, the cops should have took him right there and then. I mean,
my wife would love to watch that. You're gonna have to tell me what was on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. I'm telling you, I even watched Gabby. I'll get the whole thing for you.
That's all my wife watches.
She had one.
Murdered, she'll watch it.
She had one YouTube because she was filming. She was going to be a vlogger, and she was filming across where they were going and stuff. She had one fucking video. When she was alive, 500 views. When this stuff come out, over 9 million views. And then you got the fiance on there. He's on there. They're hugging and kissing. You know what I mean? And then you realize that he was a fucking piece of shit, fucking woman beater. Woman fucking, killed her. And, like, if you just don't want to be with somebody, just fucking's like, hey, see you later. Like, I mean, it's just, oh my, and then I watched it on YouTube because they had like an investigative stuff. I mean, she was all over the news at that time. Yeah, exactly.
That was 3 years ago.
And then what he did was he went out and he fucking went hiking in Florida. His parents knew because the cops were looking for him because then he was missing.
Yep.
Okay, and he was hiking and he did whatever, and the fucking parents come out. They got people fucking looking everywhere. Dogs, all this. People volunteering their time.
And it was like the swampy part of Florida where he went walking.
Yeah, mom and dad, fucking crazy mom and dad went out and fucking found him in the right fucking spot where he shot himself. You're telling me, like, look, I might be a fucking dumbass sometimes, but it doesn't take a scholar to figure out that mom and dad knew every fucking thing. And then he told him, like, I'm going to go out and this is where I'm going to be, mom. Dad. And the mom wrote a note like, you know, if you kill somebody, I'll bury the body. Give me the shovel. Like, come on. Just no. And I'm sure it's not.
I can't get an argument with my wife anymore because she's has like 20 years worth of watching Lifetime murder documentaries.
Well, I'm a true crime. I can't believe people I can't believe people go to that nature. And I watched this guy on this guy on TikTok, guy named Randy. He does these videos, okay? And then I think I talked about it before on here, and he talks about somebody. He talked about this one guy, this video I watched yesterday about this guy, okay, lost his job, but he fell in love with a cam girl from overseas. Savlania was her name or whatever. He was giving her like a, you know, for like watching on cam, giving her like a couple $100 a day. But it got to be like $2,000 a day. And then it was like $50,000. It was like big money. So he was stealing money off his parents, using their credit cards, stealing other credit cards and putting her name into it. And then he was infatuated with this girl. And then because he was a gamer, he was a Twitcher. And then go ahead, Shane.
How does that work? I mean, here's the thing, guys. We're not, Bub and me do this a lot. So I think we're somewhat experienced at talking, watching the chat. But how do you do the thing with the thing, you know, like, you know, with the rubber dong and do your chat and
you gotta be. But
you have the thing going, you're like, oh, hey, how's it going, guys? And you're talking, and you're like,
but also too. Well, I mean, hey, but also too, you got to. He's spending $200,000 on this cam girl, and then his dad. I mean, he goes, kills his mom, kills his dad, calls his brother to come over, shoots his brother, and spends a lifetime in jail. And this guy does videos of crimes that are just crazy because he'll talk about stuff being successful, and then he'll be like, and then the screen turns dark, and then then he tells you like you should be a cam girl. Suction cups. I don't know.
Suction cup. Oh, that's what they do. They stick the suction cup, and then they probably do that, and they can text. That makes sense.
It's got to be.
What happens if you don't have any hardwood floors, Afton?
Well, sex is a big thing, man. Sex.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, sex. Hey, Cal, how you doing? Sex is a big money making. I mean, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah. Hey, and look. Hey, man, when I was younger, I was online talking to fucking probably who knows who I was talking to back in the day. But I would meet people in Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? And then they fucking didn't look like their picture, and I was like, oh,
they have a glamour shot from like.
They're like, yeah. I was like, holy fuck! I was like, nah, peace out. Me and my buddy Lee went down to Pittsburgh. I go, yeah, Lee. And I told him, I go, hey, I got to meet this girl, you know, I met online. She's going to meet me at the bar. And we walked in. I fucking seen, she looked like a linebacker. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, I was like, whoa. And I was like, nah, not for me.
You look through the room.
I was in junior high. Wow. Yeah, you can't do that stuff at school. I dated a girl. I dated a girl from a dating site. Who was it called? Cupid or some goddamn thing or something?
Yeah.
And it's a funny story though. I got kicked off of Plenty of Fish because, no offense, I wasn't looking for relationships. What can I say? You know, and then but I did meet somebody. She was a Steeler fan. I never been on Christian Mingle. No, that's funny. No, that's a side joke. But we didn't date long. She lived down by Monroeville. I brought her up to watch a Steeler game up here at Fabian's house, and I mean, it wasn't. We were dating, but it wasn't nothing spectacular. She was blonde, not like the lady in the other room. No, there's nobody. Farmers, I don't know. I don't even like to. I don't even like to garden. Boy, this show just. I'm telling you, this show just goes off. Like we need to be picked up by. I was thinking, and I want to say to everybody that I don't know if you know this, but Kelly Elgin told me that she made her money to go to Africa. Yep. She made all her thing to go on her missionary trip, and she thanked me for doing that stuff. And I was like, oh, Kel, I gave a little bit. My mom, and Tammy, we gave her, a little bit. I mean, but a lot of people donated to that cause, and well,
that's the test to see not only if they like you, because people can send you away, but it's if they're going to pay for the ticket for your ass to come back.
Well, I just told her I want to see her on an elephant.
Yeah,
but you know what though? I mean, now I'm going to get on my soapbox. You figure if people that where you work would do stuff like even $10, like people just don't. No offense, people just don't give a fuck.
Well, here's the thing,
and it might make me a bad guy, and they're like, "Oh, hey Brewer, you got on your podcast, and you're fucking." No, I'm not being an asshole.
No, like, I disagree because people at work, I don't have that relationship with any of them. You know, like I did for one coworker drive to Cincinnati for her to pick up a car.
Okay.
And she lives in Oregon.
Right. And nobody, yeah, that's why you're one of a kind, because you're a special kind of something.
She stopped to see Mitch's football game because we were doing training, and she wanted to meet April and the kids and everything. And she's here over the weekend, and you're sitting in a hotel room by yourself. You just don't want to sit there all day Saturday. So I invited her to go to the football game. And then she goes, I bought a car in Cincinnati. Would you want to go with me to pick it up? And it was that muscle car that's like really crazy. But, I still try to keep most of the people I work with at arm's length. I don't have that relationship with them.
Okay.
But.
Well, I have a few people at work, but now my palate has changed due to the fact that I said something and people didn't like it, and I had an investigation on me, not liking what I said and my funny way of saying stuff. So that makes me kind of, you know what I mean? And that happened to me before when I worked at Rent-A-Center. My coworker turned on me. Like I took her and her husband to a Steeler game, drove them down, like, and at Rent-A-Center, you had to go repo stuff and sell stuff. If you wanted to buy a TV, it would cost you $7,500 and shit like that. It wasn't, that's just the stupidest way to buy a TV or buy a PlayStation. At that time, it was a PlayStation, probably 3, so you're spending like $1,200 on a $250 system, you know what I mean? Because of the interest. And then like my situation was everything was cool. Saturday, if you got your sales down to under a certain thing, you could leave early on Saturday. So it's hard for me to be a salesman, but I tried. I mean, I could sell beer and I could sell a good time to nobody else. And I try to be a wrestling promoter. But what happened was I got off, I did the sale, got it under 3.0 or whatever it was for the sale. I left work early that Saturday. Well, Monday, nobody was there besides the manager. And the manager was an asshole. He wouldn't wait on anybody unless they were, not a different nationality. Let's put it that way. If they were a different nationality, he wasn't waiting on them. fuck you, dude. I'm waiting on everyone. Hey man, what can I get for you? Blah, 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 blah. And he was an asshole. So make a long story short, because sometimes my stories get off kilter. All of a sudden, the district manager comes in. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm checking the register. Here comes the regional manager on a Monday. My coworkers aren't there yet. I'm like, wow. They go, can we talk to you, Ken? I'm like, sure. What can I do for you, Joe? His name was Joe. He was a short little sleazy fucking dude with a Detroit Lions coat. Nothing against Detroit Lions. He just was sleazy, but he was a regional manager and he just dripped with wetness and the greasy hair. But they sat me in a chair and I felt like I was caught by the Germans in World War II as a spy. So they're like, did you use the truck? Because you're not supposed to use the Rent-A-Center truck for personal stuff. Okay. I did. But also too, my boss knew that I used the Afton. See ya, dear.
Good night, Afton.
Good night, Afton. Thanks for popping on. And then because I'm hurry up and tell the story. So I did do that. He goes, did you go to a dealership out in Northern Cambria? And I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, but I did. But my coworker ratted me out. And because we would go to her parents' house and she would go get the mail and take out the garbage. Like working for Rent-A-Center is not like a big career if you're a salesman. You know what I mean? And I did it. I think I did it after I come back from Florida. But yeah, I got fired. Okay. And then I was at Walmart and somebody's like, hey, Bubba, I heard you got fired. Well, see, you're not supposed to. It was corporate. I work for a corporate. So nobody that you got fired. So I went back in and I called corporate and I tried to get the manager in trouble because he's not supposed to tell anybody that, I got fired because it's corporate. But long story short, because it's a long story, there's no Rent-A-Center in Indiana anymore. It's a Jersey Mike's and smoking weed place, buying weed. But that guy there was an asshole. And like he would try to talk to me. He was like, hey, Ken, how you doing? I go, dude, get the fuck away from me. Like, I can't handle people like that turn on you. Like, I'm not going to talk to you.
I'm the same way.
You know what I mean? You're going to fucking rat me out on something. If you don't like what I say or do, I'm not going to fucking hang out with you. You're dead to me. There's no water coming out of the faucet. So, and situations, probably repeat itself in life. And if it repeats itself again, I'm not talking to you. You know what I mean? I can be professional, but fake is right. So I mean, that was my Rent-A-Center story. And I tell you what though, I got a couple. Gifford come in and bought TVs and stuff, man, and paid cash. And if I knew TVs were at a good price, I'd call them up, and whatever buddy come in first got the TV. You know what I mean? Like it was like a game. Hey man, I got a TV for $75. You get here quick, you can get it. I bought a PlayStation for like $49, a laptop for like less than $100. But I would never, like errands and all that stuff, I would never ever do that kind of stuff. And people, if you ever do that, don't do it. It's not worth buying a fucking stove and a refrigerator doing that kind of shit. So, but I don't know. But anyway, thanks for coming on tonight. Yeah, you want to come on tomorrow? I mean, I'm talking probably wrestling tomorrow and just shooting the shit because, I mean, there's still no Steelers stuff.
Well, they say Russell Wilson is going to be signed with
the Giants,
the Titans. Yeah,
the Titans now. I know some people. I know Boza got cut by the Chargers, let go, and hopefully he's not in any type of Steeler rumors signage because he's old and he's not worth it.
Yeah.
And send his ass to the Raiders. Well, Crosby got a 3-year deal, like big money from the Raiders, and he was rolling. And you hear about that dude, the defensive lineman from Cincinnati who got all them sacks this year. Once out, like Cincinnati's not a good place to be either.
No.
So we'll hopefully next Wednesday we'll know, and hopefully yes, he's signed by Wednesday. I'm hoping he's signed by.
I think we need to do this every Thursday because it gives me an excuse to watch some good stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, if I could do this every day for an hour, I would. Maybe one and just
cheaper than therapy.
Well, it is therapy because yes, that's his name. That guy had like 15 sacks or something, and he was looking for defensive player of the year, and now he wants out. I'd want out of Cincinnati too, probably. Yeah, I mean, people do podcasts like look at Joe Rogan. He does shit every day. You know, I mean, it's Joe Rogan. I'm telling you, one of these days, someone's going to see us, and they're going to be like, "Oh, look at the older guy, and look at the bearded guy and the goatee guy who looks older and bigger. They're kind of funny." Well, maybe,
or maybe like a AM radio show.
Yeah, well,
drive time radio.
Talking to you, doing podcasting, I talk very clear and concise. Now, doing that interview for this promotion, like I think I was shooting, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. Sometimes it wasn't whatever. And I'm feeling like I told Tammy about the time that I was on the TV show, the news channel thing, and I thought it was way worse than it was, but it was way good.
No, it was good. You weren't saying I like lamp.
No. So
Frick like
okay.
lamp.
Well, Shane, thanks for popping on. I'll try to go watch something. I don't know about what's that one in Australia? What's that show?
Alone.
How long is that show?
Like 9 episodes. I wouldn't watch it alone if I were you. I would watch The Boys and Reacher.
Oh yeah. I gotta get that. I gotta get this stuff. I gotta watch Cobra Kai and finish watching Cobra Kai yet. There's so much. There's so much. Oh, thanks, Devil.
Yeah,
I'm going to. I swear to God. So, okay. Well, Shane, thanks so much. I'll give you the name of that movie, that documentary.
Yeah, the one with the Gabe and whatever it was.
Everybody, thanks for coming on tonight. Please hit like and subscribe. It seems like I'm doing this every day at 9 o'clock, like clockwork. Tomorrow night, I'll be talking wrestling independently and WWE and some other stuff and just talking whatever. Just it's a melting pot of stuff. Whatever. It is what it is. So if you like what we're saying and you're buying what we're dishing out, God bless you. So Shane, thank you as always. Everybody, thank you and have a great night, and we'll see you.